Of course, the other big story we're following this morning, the group of Buddhist monks making their way to Dix Park right now. Take a look at your screen because we have our WRAL News Plus team of Elizabeth Holmes and Luis Fernandez walking along with the monks as they make their way to Dix Park right now. We just shared some new information in the last hour, Laura, about them canceling that peace talk there.
Yes, because of the cold conditions, they are modifying their schedule just a little bit. And they're not doing that peace talk outdoors, but they are still stopping at Dix Park, and they will continue on with their schedule to the state capitol. That was estimated for around 3:30, but we know because they're already behind, they made a stop at Circle K earlier this morning, that could be just a rough estimate of their ETA there. But of course, we're following them as they're making their walk for peace that began months ago, several months ago, and they continue on to Washington, D.C., more than 2,300 miles that they are trekking here with this powerful movement and so many people stopping, just hoping to get a glimpse of them, giving them gifts, receiving gifts from them, asking for their blessings, even meditating with them.
And we're so happy that to see so many people out there, and we're thrilled to be able to bring this to you in the comforts of your homes. For those of you who can't be out here watching these or getting a glimpse of these monks, because so many people describe the moment as magical.
Yes.
So many people describing the moment as emotional, just seeing them. And one of the reasons that we're talking about this and not our crew out in the field is because we want to be respectful of this solemn moment as they're walking by, making the turn into Dix Park right now. They started very early this morning at Apex where they spent the night, and you can see not just the monks are walking, but the entire crowd of people who gathered along Gorman and Centennial are following along and making their way into Dix Park with the monks as they get ready to have lunch at Dix Park as well.
Yes, and you may be wondering, why are they doing this? Walk for Peace pretty much sums it up, but this journey really promotes peace, loving kindness, compassion, unity, and non-violence. This is the reason why they're doing it, and so many people want to get on board with this movement at a time where, you know, the country may feel so divided. They're wanting to bring people together again on this walk for peace and walk of peace. It was pretty cool to see them passing the station. Unfortunately, we couldn't run outside and get a glimpse ourselves, but our crews are making sure that we're getting every look, every aspect of this movement happening right now in Raleigh.
Yeah. And I remember when we were listening to Governor Stein's press conference, and we had the double box up, and as soon as I saw them, I grabbed their arm and I said, Laura, they're here. And even though we couldn't be actually out on the sidewalk, it gave me goosebumps just to see them walking by the station. Of course, we had that sign that put up along our station welcoming the monks as they passed by Centennial Park, as they're making their way into Dix Park right now. Of course, today, Governor Stein declared today Peace Day.
Yes, the Walk of Peace Day, January 24th, Walk of Peace Day, really recognizing the significance of their message statewide, and I love that. So we do have Flynn Snyder, who's actually standing by at Dix Park. He's been there at the chapel for a few hours now, waiting for their arrival. And Flynn, how is the atmosphere there now, knowing that they're getting closer and closer?
Yeah, the monks can arrive any minute, and we've certainly seen that reflected, the excitement reflected in the crowd here. We've actually made our way down near the Dix Park Dog Park here. It's about a 5-minute walk from the chapel where they're going. Just take a look at the crowd that has lined the street here. Hundreds, if not thousands, of people are lined the streets just to get a glimpse of the monks. We know that there's been some modifications as far as that they won't be giving a talk here. At least that's not planned at the chapel once they arrive. But people just want to get a glimpse of them. The excitement has been building. People have been out here bundled up, braving the cold for about almost 4 hours now. You can see Raleigh police are making their way through the route right now that the monks are expected to take, making sure everything's secure. They've been doing sweeps throughout the morning, and we've told that they just turned the corner into Dix Park, so we expect them to be at this location any minute now. Of course, we have to be quiet when they do arrive and walk through, so we'll be respectful of that. But until then, people are excitement. They are anticipating the arrival of these monks. They say they've been waiting for this for a while. It's expected to be an emotional experience for a lot of people, Ken and Laura.
Yeah, Flynn, I was curious to know if you were able to speak with some of the people out there. Are there any people who are not from this area that came to Raleigh for this?
Yeah, we've heard from one woman who is from Pennsylvania early this morning, and then of course throughout the week we've heard people come from all over the country here to North Carolina to watch these monks make their procession through our state. So definitely people coming from here locally, and then also from far away as well to get a glimpse of the monks as they walk through here in Raleigh.
So, you know, Flynn, as a reporter, a lot of times we get assigned these amazing stories. For you, what is this like for you?
Oh, Ken, I mean, this is unlike anything I have really ever seen before. This is not your typical story that we do as reporters. To see a group of Buddhist monks making their walk for peace through Raleigh is quite unique and very special, and that's been reflected in with a lot of the people that we've seen, too. I mean, to put this into perspective, there are thousands of people lined on the streets in bitterly cold temperatures. That's how much it means to people to be out here and to see humanity come together in these temps. They're trying to be as safe as possible. It's really been a unique experience, unlike anything I have seen throughout my reporting career thus far.
Yeah, it's going to be an incredible moment when they walk through there, because they just turned the corner into Dix Park. So
Yes.
any minute now, the monks will be making the way to where Flynn is at the All Faiths Chapel. Again, they're not going to have the outdoor peace talk like they usually do at many stops because of the bitterly cold weather. But once they stop there for lunch, they will eventually make their way to the state capitol, where they will address the gathering crowd there at the state capitol. So that should be an exciting time as well.
Yes, and I imagine that there may have been a little disappointment, but overall many people are there just for that glimpse, right? Just to see them on their walk. So just being out there, as Flynn just described for himself, and many other people who have said and described this as a magical experience.
All right, take a look at your screen, because really behind the tree line, I think we can see them coming into view right now.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the movement
Yes.
of the monks and all the crowds behind them. And interestingly enough, usually as we've been watching them all week since they've gotten into the triangle area, people will be on the side of the road and letting them walk by. But today, all the folks who lined Centennial and Gorman actually started walking with the monks.
Yes.
So they're making their way into Dix Park as well.
Yeah, it was pretty cool when they made that stop initially at the Circle K, not too far from the station here. We were wondering, you know, what was the reaction of the people who were just checking people out, or maybe grabbing a can of Coke, and you see a group of Buddhist monks walking in. So it's something that is not ordinary at all, this experience. And like we've been kind of breaking down throughout the morning, they started this journey several months ago. Here we are in January in Raleigh, North Carolina, where they finally made it to our area. And they said, you know, initially, despite the cold temperatures, despite this ice storm that's making its way here, they will continue walking. So even though they're modifying their schedule, they do plan to continue their journey to Washington, D.C.
And, you know, 2,300 miles. And meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner and Chris Michaels have been saying this morning, it feels like one thing, but the wind chill makes it feel like even 10 to 15 degrees out there. So, you know, they're minimally dressed, so to speak, and many of them are walking in socks and just sneakers. So you just admire their dedication, and I think that's what a lot of people are taking away from this in terms of them. Oh, there you see them right there. Take a look at the screen, everybody. Here they come. It's a situation where people are being reminded that if these monks can walk through these bitterly cold temperatures, it's inspiring people all along the way. And we've heard that from the number of people we've interviewed all week since we've been following them.
Yes, and we know a lot of people were up before sunrise today over in Apex, waiting for them to begin their journey here in Raleigh and get back on the move. And that was pretty awesome to see. And they've been moving, okay? They've been moving at a pretty great pace.
A very steady clip, my goodness.
To continue their walk for peace. Again, Governor Josh Stein proclaiming today Walk for Peace Day in North Carolina, recognizing the significance of this message statewide. And so, you know, hopefully once they pass through our area, through Raleigh, we can continue to follow their journey to D.C. And that moment, I mean, it's just amazing, magical. We can't stop saying it, magical.
Exactly. And we're going to keep this live picture up right now, but we want to check in with meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. You've been tracking the storm all week long. Right now, today is the day as we brace for what's to come.
Yeah, ever since Chris Michaels and I walked in this morning, we've been watching the system crossing the country. So it's been really interesting. So much snow with this. You can see that in the blue shaded area. We started to watch early this morning some of the precipitation moving into central Tennessee. Nashville in particular has a lot of webcams, and all of a sudden it really started dumping. Boy, that snow is really adding up quickly. We're not going to see anything like that. Unfortunately, we're going to get more warm air that streams in the mid-levels of the atmosphere, and that's going to bring us more sleet and freezing rain than snow. I know you can see a little bit of blue echoes showing up there across North Carolina. None of that's reaching the ground. We have a very dry air mass in place, and so once this precipitation moves in, we may see it on the radar up above us for a while. Eventually, as it starts to fall, it'll moisten the layers of the atmosphere, and it'll finally reach the ground, but it's not likely to start that way. We're looking at the potential for some snow and sleet to begin with, sometime around 5 to 6 p.m. from Raleigh northward. Pretty much everything south of Raleigh is going to be freezing rain with this. We're just going to see a little bit warmer temperatures there. But let's take a look. We're going to take a look at the temperatures and the precipitation together. At 5 o'clock, temperatures are below freezing almost everywhere. A little bit warmer, Benson, Fayetteville, and Clinton at around 32 to 33 degrees. And you can see just a few light echoes there. I want to point out that the pink shaded area does not differentiate between sleet and freezing rain. So this is what we would consider a wintry mix. Blue, you can see, starts showing up around 8 or 9 o'clock in our northern counties. We may get a quick burst of snow that could cover the ground, and then the sleet begins, and then eventually, most likely right after midnight, almost everything changes over to freezing rain, and it's, again, likely to be all freezing rain down to the south. For tomorrow morning, temperatures are going to be really cold. Everybody's below freezing, but we start to see some warmer air sneaking into our eastern counties as we get through the day on Sunday, and then we get a break in the precipitation during the afternoon. So we're going to stop that accumulation of ice for a while. After that, we'll see another round of some precipitation that rolls through. Some of that may be some freezing rain or sleet. That will be Sunday night. That's going to be with the cold front. And then behind it, we're going to get a shot of some really cold air that will be very impactful for us Monday, Tuesday, even into Wednesday. So we've been talking about a lot of numbers. 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain is what we'll likely see east of I-95. So we're talking about, say, folks in Goldsboro or Clinton or over in Fayetteville. Bridges can become slick. We'll have some light icing, but not a lot of power outages. 1/4 of an inch of freezing rain is where we start to see the outages. That's going to be along and just west of I-95. Roads are icy. And then once we get to the Triangle area north and west, we're looking at about 1/2 inch. This is going to be a major ice storm with almost impossible travel and a lot of power outages. We take a look at temperatures. As we go forward, again, we're going to keep it below freezing. Right now, our wind chill in parts of the region, especially around the Triangle, is at about 10 to 15 degrees. And of course, we're following the monks. Of course, you can see them over to my left, and a lot of people out there braving these very, very cold temperatures. And it just doesn't get any better. Tomorrow will barely break freezing, and then we're looking at some very cold temperatures as we get into next week as well. So it's going to keep whatever falls around for quite some time. We could see 12 degrees on Tuesday morning, and the wind chill close to 0. So again, this system is going to be with us for quite some time, and now's the time to be ready for power outages. We can start to see that later on this evening.
All right. Well, if you are just joining us now at noon here on WRAL News, we are monitoring two big stories. Of course, the forecast and that ice storm and the Buddhist monks who just arrived at Dix Park in Raleigh.
Yeah, Raleigh police, they've been monitoring this and walking along with them as well. Raleigh is giving the monks a warm welcome, even though it's a bitterly cold day. So many people have lined the streets just to make sure they get a glimpse of the monks. They started at 5 o'clock this morning at Apex, make their way down Tryon Road. They stopped briefly at a Circle K at Tryon and Gorman, and then eventually made their way on Gorman to Centennial, and now they're making their way into Dix Park, where they will have lunch at the All Faiths Chapel.
Yes, and looking at this live picture, you can actually see people handing them gifts, receiving gifts, and it's so beautiful to watch live because we've seen the video, right, as they continued their journey from Siler City to Apex and now here in Raleigh. But it's so cool to see as they are there at Dix Park. We were just talking to Flint Snyder, who's there now. Obviously, he can't talk right now because they must be respectful of the tradition and stay quiet as the monks pass through here. But he was talking about just how unique of an experience this is for so many people. And as we know, their peace talk itself outside has been canceled. So many people, he said hundreds, if not thousands, are gathering in the cold to just get a glimpse of them.
And he talked about not just people from the Triangle, but he talked with a woman from Pennsylvania this morning. She's been following them for quite some time. She's been giving them gifts as well. And he asked her just how she would feel when she sees them. And she, quite frankly, said she's going to cry. Because for so many people, it's been such an emotional moment to see the monks. And of course, I cannot forget Ashley wrote her little girl earlier this morning. Ashley describing the moment that they saw the monks along Tryon Road as magical. And I think that's what a lot of people are describing this as, is an emotionally magical moment to see these monks walking through Raleigh, North Carolina, a journey that began back in October in Fort Worth, Texas. It's a 2,300-mile journey. They'll be making their way through our state and then eventually make their way to Washington, D.C. sometime in February.
Oh, that woman right there, she was crying. Oh my gosh,
goodness.
so beautiful. You could literally see the tears coming from her eyes as she was handed those flowers. This is what it's all about. And you're speaking of Ashley Rowe, it's very telling because Ashley, who of course is going to be here for the weather coverage, got up this morning to take her daughter to see something that you will never probably see, you know, in this lifetime. Again, you know, it's really hard for 2,300-mile journey we're talking about, and they're heading to D.C. For this walk of peace, which promotes peace, loving kindness, compassion, unity, and nonviolence.